This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Scott Howell.
Hello, neighbors of the Cleveland and Chattanooga area. Welcome to another edition of the Good Neighbor Podcast, brought to you by the Friends and Neighbors Group of Tennessee. My name is Scott Howell, and I'm your host. Joining me today is our good neighbor, Marisa Gilbert at Marisa Gilbert Events. Welcome, Marisa. Thank you for being our special guest today on the Good Neighbor Podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. We're glad to have you today. We're here today to learn more about yourself and your business, and let our listeners know what it is that you do that might benefit them at some point in their life. But before we jump in the business part of it, just from talking to you for a few minutes, we found out that you're not originally from the Chattanooga area. So welcome to Chattanooga.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us about yourself, how you got here and everything?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Wisconsin, born and raised up until 18. Yes, I do love cheese. Okay, it's an obvious thing. But I actually came down here to go to school. I went to Lee University in Cleveland. So I was pursuing an education that I wanted to also seek and grow my faith in as well. And Lee kind of jumped out at me. So I moved down here, never been to the South, never actually had been to Tennessee, fell in love with it. And I graduated in 2017 and moved right next door to Chattanooga ever since. And I'm still loving it.
Awesome. And I understand I'm with you. The Chattanooga and Cleveland area is just, you can't beat it. The beauty around here is top notch.
Yeah.
And you told me you have I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, I said I've never seen mountains before, so that was just stunning.
Yeah, they are. I'm a mountain boy.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you have a fur pet.
I do.
Tell us about it.
Yes, I have a standard poodle. His name is Theo. He is the light of my life. He's 6 years old. He is just a goofball, and I just love him to death. We have a lot of fun together. We love walking. We walk around the city a lot. So, we just have a great time together.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I'm a pet fan myself. I've got a whole boy named Clyde, so I understand that. Well, so tell us about your business. Who is Marisa Gilbert Events?
Yeah, well, that's me. I started a wedding day coordinating business actually this year, so January of 2024. So it's definitely new, but I just love event planning. I've done it. I studied public relations and business in college, so I had some experience there. And then I worked for a nonprofit after school for a while and did some event planning. But I just love weddings and I love love. And I'm a very type A person. So I just knew that I could excel in this role. I wanted to find a job or create a job for myself where I could just let my talents shine. It is a side gig, so I do actually recruit full-time in the paper industry, but I just wanted to be able to do two jobs that I enjoy. It's been going really well.
Wonderful. That's good to hear. But tell us about your journey. How did you decide to get into the business? I mean, you love weddings, you love. How did you decide to actually capitalize that on and start your own company?
Yeah, well, I like to call myself either a professional bridesmaid or forever a bridesmaid. I've been in 10 weddings, and I have enjoyed every single one. If I could be in more, I would, and I hope I am. And I just fell in love with the flow of the day. People usually enjoy the, beauty of the ceremony and the beautiful words or the fun after party at the reception. But I enjoyed looking outwardly at the structure of the day, and I'll either cringe if it's very uncomfortable and doesn't flow well, or I'll celebrate that it was just a very beautiful wedding from start to finish. And so I noticed that from that perspective, I had more of an eye for the event side of things. And I just saw the need for coordinators in my friends' weddings. And I kind of took that role myself. I like to take charge. I'm very type A. So I just saw the need while in a wedding. And then I was like, why not capitalize on this? So that's exactly what I did.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing journey. Wow. You're right. Most of us don't pay attention to the goings on. We're too busy looking at our phones or talking to our friends or something like that. So, but we need people like you out there. That's for sure. Can you tell us about any maybe myths or misconceptions that people maybe don't understand about what you do, or maybe something people just don't know about what you do?
Mm. Yeah, a lot of people don't see the need for day of coordinators on the day of their wedding, and that's definitely an issue because a coordinator is going to either help your day be successful or not. It's going to help it flow, or you're also going to have to depend on someone else to do it. Whether you hire a coordinator, you're always actually designating someone to do it. So sometimes people have their great aunt or a close friend coordinating, but they actually don't have the experience. So it may still not flow the way they want it to. And it can really affect the brides. I've seen it firsthand. It can be really frustrating. My target market is DIY brides and weddings. And so a lot of those brides also don't think they need a day of coordinator, or it's a way to save money. And that's probably the best investment you could have. Definitely save money on decorations, on flowers. But, I would encourage them to hire a day of coordinator to handle all the logistics, because they will be able to experience and feel the difference. And also, the bride will then, in the end, be holding that responsibility, and they're actually going to be taken away from their day and enjoying the love of their spouse, and just celebrating with their loved ones, and instead handling the bartenders, or handling making sure that the catering gets there on time and directing them where they need to go. It just allows you to step back and just remove yourself from all the business of the wedding and enjoy everything you've planned for so many months. So I would encourage that this actually be the investment that you choose to pay for, rather than others, because you'll be able to really feel the difference from the family perspective, like people sitting in the crowd, and then from the bridal party perspective too.
It sounds like what I'm kind of hearing about what you're saying, Marissa, is that you're the stress reliever. Uh,
Yes.
uh, yeah.
Yes. What wedding isn't stressful? You've been planning for a year, right? But you don't actually want to hold that stress on your special day. Give that to someone else, and give it to someone who's an expert.
Well said. Well said. Let's turn the questions personal for just a moment. You mentioned how you and Theo get out and walk a lot and do a lot of things together. What else do you do for fun when you're not working on your first full time job and then your second full time job? What else do you do?
Yeah, well, I love the outdoors. So, like I said, we get outside a lot, go walking, go hiking. I love traveling. I do a lot of solo trips, and I love to travel with friends or meet people across the nation, hop on a road trip with them. But I'm also a homebody. So, I love reading. I love hanging out at home, maybe sitting on the porch, just reading a good book. I live a pretty simple life and I enjoy simple things.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that at all. Well, can you describe, I guess getting a little bit more personal now,
Okay.
can you describe one hardship or maybe a life challenge that you rose above, that you can say that, now that you've went through that, you're stronger or better for it?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know about this piece of my story, but my senior year of college, it was the semester I was actually supposed to graduate early. I had to drop out for the semester and go home due to severe depression. So I actually flew or drove back to Wisconsin for the semester to heal. And it definitely was hard for my pride because I was really excited that I was graduating early. I was proud of myself. But I do think it was a time to be humbled. And I am a Christian, so it was a great time to kind of lean in and grow in my faith. at that time and just seek help. And I do think it made me stronger. I think putting yourself first sometimes, aside from accomplishments that you want, can really still lead you to meeting those accomplishments. Because I still graduated. I actually went back the next semester and was able to graduate on time. And instead of being very low, I was actually at a great point in my life again. I was stronger again. I felt joy again. I was the best version of myself just by setting my pride aside and taking some time to heal. And so I do think that was a big point in my life, and also has influenced my professional life as well, because you can really get caught up in achievements and money. But I think what's most important is making sure that you're still enjoying the life that you've created for yourself. And if you're not, really just look inward and determine what you need to do to make a change. Because no one wants to work 40 hours a week and hate what they're doing or hate their life. So it was a big point for me. And I think it's very not common in America, especially in the corporate world, to put yourself first and your mental health first. And so that's something that I focus on a lot, is mental health. And it really does influence and impact in a great way with my work.
Yeah, that's good advice. I appreciate you sharing that with us. You say not many people know this part of your story, but more people will now.
Yeah.
But a lot of
I'm proud
people
of
don't. A lot of people don't realize how inspiring it is when you're going through something, you feel like you're all alone and nobody else has went through it, and all of a sudden, even just a strange voice, a strange face that speaks out and says, "Hey, I've been there, and I pulled through it, and you can too." And sometimes we don't realize how much that means to somebody. Somebody out there is going to listen to this podcast and receive inspiration because you were humble enough to share your story. And so thank you for doing that. Thank you for that a lot.
I hope it can be impactful.
Yeah, no doubt it will be to someone. Back to the business side again, if there was one thing that you wish your listeners knew that you could shout from the rooftop about what you do that maybe you feel like it kind of sets you apart, what would you tell them?
I have approached my business in a very casual way. It's very different than who I am. My perspective on being a wedding day coordinator is I want to be your Chattanooga friend, just taking your hand and guiding you on your special day. I want to be a friend to you, but I also want to make sure your day is exactly what you want it to be. And the way I say, or the reason I say I want to be a friend to you, is because I want you to know that I actually personally care about your wedding and I care about you and your love. And my perspective is just being your local girly that is just encouraging you and being your biggest cheerleader, making sure that you have the best day, but also doing it in a professional manner. And you won't even notice me because you're just going to have a perfect flow from morning to send off, and you're going to just have the best time. And I'll be on the sidelines just cheering you on. And that's kind of my perspective. It's just being, it's a little bit more chill than I'm used to, but I wanted to make sure that this was a relational business, not just a businessy business. I wanted to be personal.
Yeah. This isn't just a transaction. This is
Yeah.
more of a new friendship, a new relationship.
Yeah, because weddings it's the most important day of your life. And like I said, I love love, and I see the importance of a marriage beyond a wedding day. And so just seeing all my friends get married, I just loved being their number one cheerleader. And I'll be that in every capacity, from managing vendors, from telling your, mother-in-law to calm down, or, just being a helping hand on the day of.
Day of. You keep saying day of. That's the theme of what you do, is you're there the day of the wedding. when you say that, a question pops in my mind. Is there, you mentioned a while ago, a lot of weddings are planned a year out. So is there a point from that 1 year period to the time of the wedding that it would be the best thing for them to do to reach out to you? Is there a point, like a time frame point?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm not a wedding planner. So I'm not a 6-month contract. I'm not actually, booking your venue for you or finding your caterer or finding your photographer. I do highlight the term day of because I want you to know that I'm actually just meant for the day of, and technically the rehearsal dinner as well. So you actually do start working together 30 days out from your wedding, but you should definitely book a day of coordinator. I don't think it has to be the first thing that you book. A venue is very important. A photographer is very important. We're very flexible. So I would say, as your wedding's approaching, maybe it's 6 months away, 4 months away, I would definitely book your day of coordinator. And then we actually start working together. Some do 60 days, some do 30 days, just so that we're not stressing you out on the week of your wedding. We're wanting to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident that we have your day handled before we're even close to your wedding.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's great information to know. I had that crossed my mind. I thought, well, how far out does someone need to contact you? Because I'm sure it would be best they didn't wait till the night before the wedding to reach out.
Especially because we're supposed to coordinate the rehearsal, which is usually the night before.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it has been a delight to talk to you here today. I know a lot of our neighbors are going to, want to know a little bit more about what you personally can do for them one-on-one. So how could they contact you? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, I actually have an Instagram page. The handle is at Marisa Gilbert Events. So very simple. So you can find me on there. You can, message me. You can comment on one of my pictures. It's the way that I advertise my business, but also form relationships and network within the industry because it is so niche here. So would love to hear from you. Would love your support. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And just because I have seen Marisa spelled more way than one, would you care just to spell it out for us?
Yes. My name is Marisa. So 1 R, 1 S. And then Gilbert, very standard American last name, Events.
All right. I just wanted to clarify that because we want people to know exactly how to reach out to you.
Yes. There's a lot of
that Instagram page, but, well, thank you a lot for being with us today. It's certainly been our pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed your time on the Good Neighbor podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott, for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Our pleasure. And all you good neighbors of the Cleveland and the Chattanooga area, after meeting Marisa and learning more about her company, Marisa Gilbert Events, and the day of wedding assistance, we hope you'll take a moment to consider all she has to offer and remember her when you need or want that service that she provides. And before ending this episode, I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy day to visit with us at the Good Neighbor Podcast. Always remember to support the locally owned and operated businesses in Cleveland and the greater Chattanooga area. This is Scott Howell with the Friends and Neighbors Group. Let's go out and make this a remarkable day.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpcleveland.com. That's gnpcleveland.com or call 423-380-1984.